I think a big part of growing up is when reality kicks in, and then it's not what you expected. At least when you were a child and you had that kind of wonder for life, you had that genuine interest for living, and now you're just maybe stuck in a job for the longest amount of time, and life is pretty mundane. You can't enjoy things like, for example, gaming as much as you used to because reality hits. You've got responsibilities now, and you're not really prepared for the real world. And I think a big part of this comes from just the idea of what we were kind of sold as a kid, in terms of, it's always about believe in your dreams, chase what you want. But as you get older, life isn't that. And then not only that, but it comes to the point where it affects even the things that you do enjoy, because you're thinking about a million different things. Pair that with the way that the economy is going generally, it's not very great. And I can understand that it affects a lot of people to enjoy life and to even find routes of escapism, not even being the same. And maybe you've tried to escape it. Maybe you've tried to do these online hustles or these different ways to replace your job so you can do things that you genuinely like to do. But again, with the responsibilities of life, you can't really do that. The doubt fills your mind. Even doing some of these projects that you've wanted to do don't feel fun to do. You don't have enough hope. You're just there. And it feels like a loop. And it's okay to feel like this. I feel like a lot of people, they do feel like that generally because, they feel like they have a bigger sense of purpose. They feel like they're destined for more than just what their life looks like now. For them carefree days where time felt endless and, you were stuck in the present. You only worried about what was going to happen today or tomorrow or yesterday. You go to school, you hang around with your friends, you come home, maybe you play the game or you do something that's pretty fun. Life is great. Life is honestly great, apart from the exams and some of the things you go through as a kid. It's not the same as an adult. So even to the point of like making friends is completely different, or at least it feels different. And I want to talk about that kind of feeling because when you really think about it, most of the things that we feel in life is all in our head. A lot of the emotions that we do get, it's from our perspectives in life. Now, it might feel like there's more responsibilities, and there are, not denying that. There are also, again, a higher chance of being lonely because there's more anxiety and social expectations and different kind of time constraints that weren't there when you were a kid. And obviously a big part of growing up is the desire for them genuine connections. It's still possible, and I want you to realize that whatever it is that you truly want, it is possible. But I think it requires 1, a perspective change, and 2, some kind of structure. Structure in the sense of how do we get there? Or at least how do we get to the point where we can actually start to enjoy life, because it's worth it. You've got one life, so why not enjoy it? And enjoy the things that you like to do, And I think it all starts with being more authentic to yourself. You have to be genuine to yourself. And it's really hard to do this, especially in a world like today where, again, the social expectations are crazy. Like, if you don't fit into this certain mold, that's it. You're not really respected. Or at least, it won't feel that way. And I think that once you truly find what's true to you, is what will set you free. Now, if we analyze the differences from when you were a kid to an adult now, the main difference is probably going to be freedom. The freedom to do what you want. There's no age limits for what you can do and what you can't do. So there's always going to be 2 ways where it goes. It can go to the really like easier path where, you just go with the flow and you just live life and probably put yourself in the situation that this video is talking about. Or it could go in the way that you actually realize the freedom that you have and how can we maximize this to the best of our ability given our current circumstances. And again, you might have tried different things and you're already sitting at the point of just accepting that it's not going to work out for you. I really don't want you to think like that. There is genuine hope for you, and again, with hard work and structure, you can do it. Again, it's a lot harder to do than said. Way harder. Like as a kid, you might have been like, oh, I want to be an astronaut, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to save people. And now life is completely different to that. So there's going to be obviously those kind of things where it's like, there's disappointment. And it's really, really sad. Because I think a big part of growing up is to genuinely have more experience in life and to develop more wisdom to navigate life. And coming with that wisdom is going to be obviously them kind of setbacks and failures and sort of the bad weather conditions of life just hitting you in different ways, all to make you stronger. But again, that also comes from, again, speaking about that perspective shift. But the main thing that I really want you to take from this video is the ability to be authentic with yourself. Because the more you keep lying to yourself and the more that you keep trying to fit into this mold of what society has got for you, and even to the point where, you want to break out of this matrix or whatever it is, so you decide to embark on every online hustle that you can find and everything that you think you find fun, but you don't. Some people might want to become a business owner. They might want to start doing e-commerce. They might want to start doing dropshipping or affiliate marketing or course selling or whatever it may be, but you have to ask yourself, is this really authentic to you? Can this really maximize your potential in terms of what you can bring to the planet? Is this exactly the valuable skills you can offer to the world? Same goes to content creation. A lot of people who kind of want to get into content creation, sometimes they might not be making authentic content that they can really resonate with, content that will really make them feel good. But because it's so likened to be like that nowadays, they'll embark on that journey. And this is why I say, again, I have to say this again because I really want to get this in your head. Be authentic with yourself. What is it that you really find epic and cool to do? What would make that sort of inner child of yours happy? And once you find that, and it can be something as simple as gaming. If you like gaming, or if you like, chilling out, there's going to be some sort of career related to that, or some sort of path that's related to that. You just got to find it, and you got to be creative with it. Because how are you going to be creative if you're not going to be authentic to yourself? You can't be creative when you're stuck with the same mold and same structure that everyone else is going to be doing. No, you have to actually take that courage, form it into something that you can truly nurture. And I think the best way that comes with that is to keep trying different things, keep focusing more attention to yourself, and really paying attention to your thoughts, which is really hard to do. And it might sound like a lot of waffling because it is, but once you truly do find how to do that, again, there's multiple ways to skin the cat. It could be something as simple as maybe connecting with music, maybe connecting with your own breath, maybe cooking, or something that gets you in the present moment where you can think clearly. Because when was the last time you thought clearly? Probably a long time ago. When was the last time you were present? Probably as a kid. A lot of people who are in this kind of situations, typically it's because they're disconnected. They're disconnected to themselves, and I don't blame them. I don't blame anyone for that. I mean, even me, sometimes I get into that state of mind because I'm human. We're all human, so we're always going to have those kind of setbacks. What's important is what we do with them. And that's not to say don't ever do something that's kind of sucky, that sucks a lot. Sometimes you got to graft after it. Sometimes you got to grind in order to get where you want to go to. For example, if it's a passion project that you've got and you're limited in money, maybe you might have to do a really crappy job in order to raise funding for that. Maybe you do, but you have to also embrace and acknowledge that that's all part of the journey. To really start to think about what you really want to do and what's really authentic to yourself, because that's what separates us from a kid. Normally as a kid we just do whatever we just think of at the moment, right? Until maybe you hit high school, and then you might start to again mold into that way society fits people and certain social masks that you might put on or whatever it might be, right? And try not to be too stuck into the past, because once you really get stuck into the past, it's like you're going to be filled with so much regret. You're just going to be like, oh man, times were good then, times are not good now. Again, nostalgia is a really good thing to look back on. If you think about it from a data perspective, it's good to collect data from that point because it's doable again. It's doable to kind of reach that point of mind, of perspective. You might miss being a kid, and you might think that even things like gaming are not the same as what it used to be, but it can be, because there's a lot of joy in the simple moments, in the small everyday moments, the points where you kind of truly feel alive. And as the world has changed so much in the past, like 10 or 20 years, even just generally, there's still sparks of joy all around us. It's just that we've been really conditioned, to really be out of the moment and out of the sort of small joys in life, where you're thinking about, oh, where am I going to be in 5 years and this and that, and you're just always thinking about stuff rather than just being there in the present. And this is where I think the whole point of structure really comes into play, because when you have a plan and you're following it, or at least following it to the best of your degree, you know you're going to make progress. You know you're gonna get to where you need to get to at some point, whether it's later on or sooner, and it lets you have the ability to relax, to enjoy that game that you want to play, to enjoy that moment that you want to do, to enjoy that piece of food that you want to, that music or whatever gets you going. And it might suck and it's really boring and tedious to make structure happen, but I think you need it. But first and foremost is to find out what makes you authentic, what makes you yourself, your unique ability to bring value to the world. From there, you structure it to the point of how you can get there, and after, you'll be able to enjoy whatever it is that you want to enjoy. At least I think that's the way. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Anyway, peace and blessings be to you all, and I'll see you in the next one.